Hey guys, Enkidu here, and I am here with my girlfriend Criddle.
Hello.
We are going to show you the Mastery Challenge completion that we had for COD Season 6, the Never Say Die. And the criteria for this is win a match of Battle Royale Trios or Quads despite accumulating at least 7 total Gulag trips and deaths across the entire team. We didn't really look at the challenges before we completed it, it just sort of accidentally came along, and this is what it looks like when you get it. We thought it was just a really cool game, and we wanted to highlight it for you guys and throw a bit of commentary over the track, so let's get to it.
Hope you enjoy.
I've always assumed that little number in the very bottom corner left, if your compression algorithm YouTube catches it up appropriately, is the game number. I couldn't even tell you. Something in the quadrillions. So it's a very large number. But anyway, plane goes right down the middle, and we highlight dam and then a little bit to the right of dam, because we usually either look for grouped recons or a standalone scavenge. I like to pull my chute early, and this is video of my PlayStation. And because I can usually see, okay, there's 4 people that are going there to that scavenge. Well, we know we're playing trios, so let's just assume 2 teams are going to fight. The chopper that we marked is immediately taken, and they're flying. I think you can see it now. Yeah, they're flying to the top of the dam. So we don't want a piece of the top of the dam. If we take the lower side of the dam, that means people are going to be able to shoot down onto us. So we rotate into the military base. PK Trone, Jordan, our third teammate, he's not with us here today, but he is in spirit. And he's jumping into the military base.
He is usually our lead point. He's really squirrely and really fast. So when we mark scavenges or recons, he automatically dives and will get our first contract for us, which usually leads us to have backup and or get the following scavengers.
It's actually an interesting point there, Criddle. It's like, what I usually do is stay in parachute as long as possible, at least until an objective spawns in the map, and he goes balls deep and just dives right down. The other method that would also be efficient, I think, is if everyone just sticks together, everyone shoulder to shoulder, and they drop at the exact same time, whether that's waiting or whether that's going forward. But as you see, we're able to get the scavenger here pretty quickly. We all split up, we all land in different spots. We've been playing a while together now. We're north of 30 wins, right, Criddle?
Yeah, north of 30 wins. We've gotten our strategy down a lot better at pointing out enemies, marking out enemies. Really good strategy down.
So, surprisingly, we were able to land at, where are we here?
Military base.
Military base, thank you. We were able to land a military base, do a scavenge, get all split up. We still haven't got shot yet. We still haven't encountered the team. There's no pings going on. Jordan, PK Drone, was able to get a chopper, start the contract. I was able to loot a building, get 10 grand, and then we're able to complete this contract here. And we're going to be in a really nice position. We have a helicopter, we have guns, we have ammo, and we're going to have more than enough for loadout, armor, gas masks, and at least 1 UAV or whatever we need. Criddle's still rocking a shotgun, though. Yes. She doesn't look like she had good luck with the floor loot.
No.
And there's another shotgun. That's just what you wanted, I'm sure. And then I accidentally picked that up. I do not want that shotgun. Okay, cool. So I mark the buy station. My logic is maybe no one dropped at the military base, because we were running all around that thing and not having any trouble whatsoever.
Which is also safe to assume. Side note, PK Drone is our baby driver. If you're ever familiar with that movie, he is very good at vehicles and often can get us out of really sticky predicaments.
Just about everyone else on our team drives into walls. And by just about everyone else, I mean the other 2 of us. So I get the loadout. I chuck it down really quick at the ground just because I want it to drop very quickly and not be outside of this little barricaded area, because I figured if there is anyone, they're out in the fields or they had come from up here in the map. And I think this is where we end up getting jumped. Yeah, I think I get right here and then I just start getting shot. Yeah. So I get my loadout. Criddle, I believe you get yours. You've already lost a plate or 2. I've already lost 1. Somehow, some way, and you can see the red dot on the minimap, there's this guy silhouetted pretty clearly at the top shooting me. I turn around just to see what's there. Try to aim in, he immediately ducks out. Probably because he saw two of us turn around, right? What I don't see when I'm scoped in here is this other little person coming to run in. I'm pretty sure this is the person that plugs me. Yep, there it is. I see him late. I try to like sort of side strafe where I'm walking right while aiming left. Criddle jumps in front. I'm trying to probably do the same thing. I believe she gets ripped.
Yeah, at least to provide cover, strafing.
Yeah.
But that didn't work very well.
Then here's a good one. You just saw this person go down. So it looks like Jordan rotated right while we were this way. And he actually plugged the person that got us down. And then there's still the guy on the high side. And there's some type of explosion happening at the chopper. I decided to crawl in this building because if Jordan wins his gunfights, he'll be able to at least res one of us, and that's Jordan dying. That's when we all poof.
And enter phase 1 of the Gulag.
Yeah, I mean, it just happens. I mean, everyone's looking at the loadout. I mean, you could do it one at a time, but then you're going to extend the duration that your team is getting their loadout invulnerable by 20, 30 seconds, or you can do it all at once where no one's looking around them and then pull the loadout. But there's always going to be times in COD and in Warzone where you just getting shot in the back. You have no idea where the people are, and you just get shot in the back. They see you first. That's just it.
Yeah, that's the lady luck of gaming and being in COD, and especially 150 players, and there's very populated areas. And got that guy, so I'm back from my Gulag.
Yeah, this was a really cool one where only about half the time we're in the Gulag together, and only half the time we're in the Gulag together can I actually see them fight. So at this point, I'm just yelling to Criddle, I'm like, he's going to be right behind you coming up the center. And she goes, oh, what, where? Pop, pop, and it's just a fantastic ragdoll scenario where the guy was jumping, and it was pretty great. Alright, so Criddle comes back, Jordan's in his Gulag, I'm running down the middle, and I just see that guy out of the absolute corner of my vision, hip fire the first 2 shots, then ADS for the rest. Okay, great. So I'm like, well, that contract is still there, our loadout's still there, and the chopper. But, dollars to donuts, 90% of the time, just because I've played this game enough, that team hasn't moved an inch. And they haven't moved an inch because they haven't needed to. And sure enough, we go down, and as we go down, I just barely see it. I just barely see it, and you could probably barely see it. You're going to see someone walk across, like right here, and I just saw somebody else over here. And Criddle's a little below me. I think she sees them and verbally calls it out, too.
Yeah, we usually are very good go-getters on our loadout, wherever it drops. Obviously, the name of the game is get your loadout. But for me and my perspective, I decided to go for it here.
That's right. Criddle stays and tries to get the loadout. I'm like, well, I see a car and a buyback. So I'm going to go try to snag Jordan. And we'll see how this goes. And Criddle and I are communicating here. She's basically just waiting, because in only a minute or two the gas is going to come, and I don't think that team saw her jump down. I'm sure they heard it, but I don't think they saw it.
Now, if I remember correctly, I was able to scout it out and hang out. I think I actually tried to go for my loadout as soon as the helicopter turned red, which you can kind of see in the corner of your mini-map, that it is going red currently.
Oh, and so I swing to the loadout, and they're getting their loadout. That's what that red smoke is. And then I still see Crystal. I'm like, well, Crystal's like 5 meters away from their loadout, and our loadout, and the buyback, and I'm like, what is going on over there? So I think I'm going to swing back to go get her, and I'm like, well, no, I'm not. It's way too hot.
Yeah, what you guys can't hear is the actual dialogue of what we were communicating. It was like, get Jordan, don't get Jordan, get Jordan, don't get Jordan, go get Crystal. And I'm glad that he didn't get me, because I found out the hard way that you can't jump over loadouts. So you will find my inevitable death in probably about a minute or so. Even though the team left and I successfully got it, I was not able to escape the gas. One of the most embarrassing deaths, as you can see ticking down now.
Yeah, you can see her health ticking down here as I'm about to complete this buyback. And the shame of it is I don't have enough to also get her, otherwise I'd just tell her to bleed out really quick while I was right there. Although Jordan, in retrospect, Jordan and I could have pooled our money at the top of the dam here. But, So I'm like, alright, well, I'm just driving by another contract. Jordan's trying to spec out where to go. May as well pop this. I'm astonished there's no one in this fire station throwing C4 and hails of bullets at me. But this is one of the more fun physics in COD, and it doesn't blow up. It just, like, it bounces like a foot, like a go-kart going over a small hill, right? Alright, so Jordan and I get down, and we start doing this. And I think we actually caught a bullet coming down. I'm trying to look around. I'm like, what's where? And I end up dropping one of my marksman rifle for Jordan. And about there we go. Because he just has the pistol. He just came right fresh back from being dead. And as you can see in the minimap, 1, 2, 3, 4. Jordan marked him out. And our car's still there, but no trophy, no nothing. So we just skedaddle as quickly as possible. 2 teams fighting, 1 guy even out there on the ice. And we just try to rotate real hard. Gas is coming in pretty quick. And we know we can't go through. Actually, this is a good spot to look at. We know we can't go through towards the green. There's just too many teams there. Potentially you could swing this way and try to skirt them, but I feel like without a trophy, that's just asking for one guy to have a sticky grenade or an RPG. And the funny part is there's a red dot right in front of us that I didn't even see there for a minute. But if you look, there are no contracts all the way over here, which usually means that place is cleared out.
Yep.
And that's exactly what Jordan did. He took the briefest look at the minimap possible, and he's like, I'm going exactly this way, and that's what we do. Because the other option was to drive into the airport, where there's snipers in the towers and stuff like that. So we try to stick close to the edge, and I think we just rotate all the way down. Or maybe we go closer to the airport? I did not remember him going that close. Oh, no, that's right. This is the game where we went in, not out. Going out would have totally been an option, but if you saw the circle just collapse there, you lost a lot of space. And there was actually contracts in. So my first suggestion, where you sort of did the serpentine to get in there, that ended up being what we did. I mistook this with another game at first. So we're discussing where we can buy crystal back. We're discussing what contracts we can do, and we're looking around. We're like, all right, the airport's just flooded with money and things to do and stuff like that. But I have an SMG and Jordan has a marksman rifle. Neither of us are ghosted. We don't have no heartbeats, no nothing. We both have about 20 bullets in total. Let's not push to the airport. So we go out to, we call it the old standby, this vertical building here at the edge. And so that chopper's very clearly coming with a whole team to try to kill the king. We use this time to get our teammate back, get Griddle back. And then I decide to take another car. I'm like, all right, now we don't have a trophy. Cars are at full life. Let's split into 2 cars. And I think I took a shot right at him going up the hill. That's why I started swerving. And I'm like, let's go try to complete another contract. Because we need more money for a loadout, right? You always need more money until you don't. And you don't once you have your loadout in place.
Yeah, usually the bonuses for us would be UAVs, gas masks, apparently. But those are always secondary to our loadouts. We know our guns. We know what we're running with, and Ghosted Perth has been super beneficial for being strategic, or at least the way we play.
Hilariously enough, despite us going in different directions, Jordan and I both try to park in the exact same spot. And then he takes my car and I take his. Certainly not planned, but very funny.
So from my perspective, I am now flying to the recon. We're actually trying to regroup at this point. So that way, the faster we can cap this recon, the faster we're going to get money back. And I am still with just a pistol only.
Yeah, so Krill's coming down from being dead. Jordan's looping this way. I'm looping this way. Oh, no coordination beyond we're all within about 60 meters of each other, and we're going to go try to cap the flag. And I think Crystal sees someone run into this door. Or maybe I see it. That's right. Jordan tried to hit him. Criddle goes, oh, guy there, and then Jordan tries to smash him. I jump out, thinking I could chase him down. See some bullets. I'm like, all right, where'd he go? I think he went up the zip line.
He had gone up the zip line.
So now I'm looking around going, okay, now he's higher than us in a prepared position. This is bad news. And I didn't see this when we lived through it, but I see it now. This young man right here has a very, very quick on the finger trigger for his RPG. And Jordan and I just eat a whole bucket of shit here.
So this is the first time, I'm actually glad that I didn't hop in the car with him and abandon the recon. Here we see the replay of them getting killed, but at the exact same time that this was going on with their Gulag, or I don't think they go back to their Gulag, but the loading screen, I had killed a player with my pistol and ended up meleeing him because I ran out of bullets and didn't reload. So I had survived the encounter of the second player who had come down after us.
Yeah, she's simultaneously winning a gunfight with a pistol against a guy with an LMG, and then beats him to death while completing the contract to be our last player alive. And then she gets in the one car that didn't blow up and steals his growl along the way. And so we just start marking stuff, and she's getting shot. Oh man, I think this is when you drive the gas.
Yeah, I think I go.
We're like, go right, go right, go right. And he's like, there. We're marking everything in the planet. Look at this car has no life. It's smoking black. Jordan zoomed in on the minimap trying to mark where you can go. That guy's still chasing me. He's super pissed. I'm like, all right, you're on foot now. I'm like, reload first. There we go. 3 tries. We got it though. And it's actually a pretty good growl setup. So let's go back. It's actually a pretty good growl setup where you got the 60 mag, you got one of the long barrels, I don't know which, and you got the nice VLK, and what's that? The little stubby grip, where you actually get some 80. Yeah. Where you actually get some ADS speed, and she had looted some plates as well. Look at that. I'm like, just leave your pit. And we're both just like shouting advice at her at this point, right? Because we're so excited that she just won a one-on-one gunfight against a guy with a loadout, despite having just a pistol wall, capturing it, and then getting away, and then driving through the gas. We were so pumped up for her. Running just in the space where it's open, we see that's enough. We're like, all right, instead of going all the way up there, there's some ammo. Go grab a contract. Just because it's the closest contract. And then Jordan's giving her bad advice about how to get in this parking garage. So she's like, oh my God, is it that way? I'm like, no. Around the corner. Bank a right. And then there's the big ramp up. Behind you. Behind you, Criddle. Behind you, Criddle. There you go. That one. This is like exactly what we're saying, and we're all having a nice time. So I think you're able to get, is it Jordan or me you get back here?
I think at this spot I get you back. Oh, no, this is the one where I get Jordan back. We usually go by whoever's first in the list because we've hesitated a lot, and we've learned really quickly that within 3 or 4 seconds someone can come on the roof and shoot you. So half the time it's square. So this point it was square. I'm running through trying to avoid the gas. I'm already pumped up because I was the only one alive, but now that we've got Jordan, I was able to calm down a little bit and make my way out of here.
Yeah, and
while telling them I can't make my way out of here.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know how to get out of here. I'm like, just go up the exact way you came in. It's all good. You got plenty of time. Only half the garage is in the gas. You got lots of time. And so she jumps down here, and Jordan's roughly going towards the flag. So as she's jumping down, she gets beamed pretty good. 3 plates and what only looked like 2 or 3 bullets. So one of those might have been a headshot, or at least high in the chest. And just from the way that the shots came and from the hit markers and as she was falling, I knew that they were up there on the roof with her, right, somewhere around here. So at this moment, I am super worried that she's just dead. So she's trying to look around. So then I think I zoom in and I try to mark it. I'm like, he was up there to your right, for sure, because that's where the hit markers came from. And she's doing very good preemptive aiming, knowing that this guy's going to have to jump off at some point, right? And
the curse of the armor or gas mask, if you want to put it.
Animation times kill you in this game almost as often as actual bullets. This guy sees her. She sees him. And they both kind of just go, oh!
Which I thought it was funny. He backed off. Maybe he had to reload too or something.
Maybe he only had his pistol and he just came back from the gulag. But it was super funny. Just like dead to right, stares into your eyes and then runs away. And then he comes back out. But some very accurate shooting. And I'll play that at more real time. Very accurate shooting. You get a headshot in there. And then you run forward exactly like you should. Run, loot, plate while you run. But his buddy finally jumped down off the roof, plugged you in the back.
And so now we get to go to Jordan, PK Drone's point of view. And mind you, we're all still barely alive, and now he's scavenging around. He gets enough money for one of us again.
Another decent floor gun, too. This, was it Unga? I think that's another Grau. So we're still trying to pull contracts. We still need money. We still need buybacks. We still need whatever we're close to, right? Beggars cannot be choosers, and we're not begging.
Yeah, you know, gas 3, no loadout still, so the name of the game is still get your loadout.
Yeah, I think 2 of us got our loadout once, and then it's been nothing ever since, right? It's just been a series of buybacks and deaths.
Yes.
So, surprisingly, Jordan is able to run all the way across here and not just get beamed. Very surprising to me that there's still no one at the old standby, this big old building out here. And the same buy station that I bought Criddle back from earlier, Jordan now gets Criddle. Because the gas is still not collapsed on it. And I think we loot around here for a minute. Yeah, someone's already been here for sure. Alright, so I'm trying to look at the map. And Crizzle's saying, where should I float? And I'm like, just go right to the contract. I'm pretty sure that's the pool.
Yeah, that was the pool.
There, I'm going.
And I think Jordan starts hearing footsteps or gunshots around here. Yeah, I think that's why he's looking around. He's like, hold on, I hear something.
He told us, and he warned us. He's like, I heard somebody. We didn't believe him. Sometimes, you know, we can actually hear his audio as well because we're both spectating. I just came back, so now I'm all off trying to get the recon, focus on the recon. But he kept telling us, you know, over headset, I hear somebody, I hear somebody. We're like, okay, whatever. We brush it off. And unfortunately, I believe this is where Jordan gets nuked.
Yeah. So, because he's still looking for the owners of the footprints that he was hearing, and then he sees one. He's already pre-crouched, he's already pre-aimed, he already knocked a plate off of him. He gets a few shots. I guess he gets gas grenaded and beamed by 2 guys at once. That's what it looked like. Very quick death. As you see, there's at least 1, 2, yeah, it's a full team of 3. They were pretty much just watching him. Maybe they saw him run in. Maybe they heard him running around on the roof. Criddle was able to get some plates, and she's working her way up to the roof of the pool area here. Very politely closing doors. So I'm like, okay. I think the only way up into the top of the pool, unless you're parachuting, is running up those stairs. So just aim right at the stairs. It's not going to matter. Anything else does not matter whatsoever. So we're able to capture this, get another recon. Again, we're just trying to get money. We're trying to get money, we're trying to get arms, ammo, anything that we can. There's a nice satchel for you, and this gun ends up being what you run until the end of the game.
And I recommend it. Maroon was really solid for me. It didn't waver. It was a great light machine gun.
I would normally recommend picking up the Semtex, but Crystal doesn't really like throwables, so.
They steer me wrong.
Okay. So at this point, and I'll go back just a second here. Alright, so at this point, Crystal's saying, I'm going to go to the same buy station Jordan just got me at, because now I have the money, and I'm going to get one of you guys. And I say, don't. Because I could see these red dots in the minimap, and I'm like, they could see you from this way, they could rotate down, they can go back to here. This is almost for sure the same team that just killed Jordan, they just came out a little bit. And then when trying to push into the top of end of Boneyard, they just got stopped. So I'm like, instead let's go with the grain here instead of against it. I'm like, don't go to that one. Go to that. So I'm like, there's a car and there's a flag. The flag will spawn, and you can see Jordan panic marking that one. The flag will spawn down here. You'll be able to get a flag and then a buyback right at the same time. Of course, all of that precludes staying alive, but either way, that team is still fighting at the north end of Boneyard. So I'm like, get going. Look at that. Now another team is fighting that team that's fighting another team in Boneyard. I'm like, don't go to the old standby. That's what we call this thing.
And all this deliberation, I'm still not sure how I didn't get nuked. But, you know, a lot of this conversation was really quick. We know kind of the words to say to kind of get each other moving, but we do attack this as a strategic maneuver. A lot of our Warzone, we try to plan it out, you know, unless someone really nukes us in the beginning of the game and kind of throws us all off, but that's kind of why you see the pauses sometimes, or the map lookouts, because we're trying to figure out the best way to get somewhere to get somebody back.
So I've forgotten about this point. We marked the flag and a car, and I think I told you it was an option. You could take one or the other. I think you only end up taking the car. I think we actually leave the flag as is, because we wanted to get away from those teams.
Yeah, I think we just go to I think we just go to the buy station at this point again.
I'm driving.
And crazy enough, right there is like gas mask. There's all sorts of stuff there on the ground. Just drove right over it.
And we laugh about it, but when you're the only person alive again,
Yeah. There's a box,
pause,
there's a satchel, there's plates, there's ammo, so much there.
Any hesitation, all I'm thinking about is getting the next person. Like, all that awesome loot didn't mean anything to me if I got nuked or shot in the head right while I pick up my favorite thing, the gas mask. So I ignore them, like, most of the times, and I just jump over and I go ahead. This time I actually thought about it. Keto hadn't been playing, the entire he's been spectating, so I had a brief moment to breathe and not do my square rule, and I bought him back. And I think, and you'll see later in the video, why that was a really good choice to kind of switch off from PK Drone.
And I realized, I don't know exactly why, but I realized I spawned back with like $3,600, so right off the bat, that was a great decision because we're able to get, and now everyone's alive. Two of us have pistols and one's in parachute, but we're going forward. Okay. And as you see, as we fell, the gas now is telling us to go this way and pretty far. So we end up starting to push. I asked Criddle for a second gun. I don't think she has one. I think she only has just a maroon, but I am able to get some plates from her. And I'm like, all right, let me take a quick look at the map. I'm not getting shot from the top of the hospital here, not the hospital, the strip mall looking thing, whatever that is behind me. And we just start pushing. And we probably should have kept together here a little more. Oh yeah, that's right. So I start moving. The moment I jump over here, I see these guys just going ham, fighting each other in the woods with another team over here. So I'm like, oh, this is bad. So I'm just going to ping over there and then run. Because as you can see from over here and much closer over here, there's definitely some people that had a lot of stuff that died over here. Any gun is better than the pistol, even if it's just a white SAS. I decided to pay back the loan of plates right here. There's some logic for if I wanted to wait for Jordan and wait till we all met up. But then here is exactly what you want to see. Multiple people with their loadout dies. It is covered in plates. I have my choice of guns. There's even a mask there I think I missed. And I was able to get along. So precision and a satchel. And then I want to point this out because this is the gun I run for the next of the game. The next, 10 minutes of the game. It's a Grau 5.56 with a stubby barrel that is not the Tempest or the Archangel. A 30 mag and an ACOG that's not the VOK, and it's non-silenced. I just want to point that out. This is literally, if it's not the worst way to build a Grau in the history of COD Warzone, it's got to be the second. Look, he took his time to put a charm on it, on this giant piece of crap gun. Horrible gun. I'm still happy I got a gun. Don't get me wrong. I get a self-revive. And so in very short amount of time, we were able to get full plates. I should have looted that mask. But loadout guns, or at least I got a loadout gun, I got a satchel, I got a kill streak, so we're starting to look a lot better. I just test out the scope there. So we realize gas is coming very close. We don't have time to loot anymore. We already have some decent stuff. As I'm jumping this fence, I see this guy as well as I saw the dot before I started the jump, right? Mm-hmm. In that I don't have a heartbeat, I'm all just eyes and ears, right? I don't have to hold down L1, nothing else. I'm limited by that, but I'm also, it's faster, right? So as we go up and into the woods here, we'll give you the walk along. So I hate these scopes because either they show up bright white and it makes lots of sense, or they just show up as gray and you can't even see them whatsoever. I don't know why anyone would run thermals, but here you go. I just put them on center mass, 30 bullets, Criddle and I trade, and we beam the guy team wipe. No time to loot. Gas is already touching it. Again, 30 mags in Warzone. I don't know why you bother, but here we go. This is the gun I looted. So as we go up the hill here, you see this guy, which I don't know how he saw us, but this is a sniper. This guy has an AX-50 or something like that. He pointed, but not at us. You could see from the way he's pointed, he's not looking at us. He was very likely scoped in on the guy we just shot in the back.
Yep.
And was scoped in wondering what happened to him, or looking at his loot or something like that. He did not have good awareness. So I ping him, and I see the way Crystal's facing, and I know she can't help me with him. Because if I just start shooting that guy right then, I get 2 bullets and he goes down the hill, all of a sudden he could pop up whenever he wants, like a jack-in-the-box, and kill either one of us. So I ping him, and then start sweeping to the right. When I see Crystals start to move, that's when I try to take him. And then I see Crystal start to shoot. Crystal's shooting someone else entirely in that exact moment. So that was my decision process, my decision tree that quickly was wait for help, we'll beam him at the same time. Oh, she's fighting. This guy's got to be staring at her. I got to plug this guy right away. And I just start shooting. And I even missed my first couple shots. I plug him. You saw the blue there. I cracked his armor. Criddle's still fighting. He shoots at me. Goddamn 30-round mags. It's so ridiculous. And this guy makes another huge mistake. He goes completely prone and puts on plates. He had to know from the gas and from where I was and from my movement that I was pushing him. I wasn't sprinting, but I was still coming at him. He made a horrible decision to put on plates. So I'm able to just rip through his face. Super easy. I know Criddle's still fighting. Criddle was in the gas a little bit there. Just walk over his corpse really quick. No time to really look at guns and ammo. I have a gun that shoots bullets. That's enough for me. So I'm looking around, I'm looking left, I'm looking right.
We do have to take a moment to point out that PK Drone this entire time has been in his parachute.
That's right, I forgot about that. We brought him back and he goes, hey guys, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And he just hits A and chills in his parachute.
But this works, as you'll see, in our absolute favor. And we've never really used this strategy before because, you know, there are some good snipers out there who will look for parachuters and take you right in the air. But I just had to point out the reason why we haven't really mentioned him is because he's floating up in the sky. And this is kind of where he shines at this next part, which actually gave us a huge advantage with the no UAVs, no loadouts, no gas masks, like nothing. Just weapons we found off the ground.
So I had forgotten about that part entirely. He is green, yeah. So he's still just like floating over here. Maybe he's taking a leak. Okay. So as we go along here, I take a peek and I'm like, all right, I don't see anybody over here. But in the moment I try to scrape along the left-hand side of the gas, I see 1 and then I see 2. And they do the exact same thing I did. This guy's crouch walking. I don't know why. But this guy did the exact same thing I did until we saw each other. Right? He ducked immediately into cover at a right angle. I just started plugging him. And that's when I saw the third guy behind him. And I'm like, okay. So I got some shots on his armor. I thought you were left of me. I forgot you were right. But I know from the gas they can't really sneak left. So I'm using this tree as cover. And I'm actually pleased for about 5 seconds that I have a thermal. Because I'll know the second he peeks out from beyond the tree. So I'm like, they were about there. No one's still on the low side. They're all behind these trees. No one's really peeking. And then I see all the bullets. So Criddle was up over here, and then she rotates down, which is a really smart maneuver, is put the gas closer to yourself. Because they're not going to push you into it, but they can't flank you that way. So while she moves, I try to cover, and then I try to get in a different angle. And then so she just went down, so I decided to go up, right? We switch. And one of them, I think, was doing the same thing. So as I start to go up, I see this guy, you know, not in cover, but neither am I, just sort of looking at the same thing. And I think this is just a gunfight. I just outright win. Even though you cannot see him at all on the thermal, which is why I hate thermals. Cracking down him. Do not try going for the actual kill. Just because I know he still had teammates. I have time to put plates on. Criddle marks one. Alright. I thought that was the second guy. I don't think I saw the third until right there. That guy revived one of his teammates. Criddle killed another. You see one guy down, and then one guy who had just revived or self-revived. So this is where I actually calling the kill streak to great effect. The last one comes down, gets stuck with Brittle, fighting her. I wait for it, and then we're able to get up. And this was just a really huge turning moment and a really big turnaround in the game. I was able to down one, I was able to crack another, Brittle was able to kill one, I was able to throw out a kill streak that kills, and this is basically a team wipe, a full team with garbage guns up in the woods. And I forgot about this part too. Jordan comes back at that exact moment, hey guys, sorry I had to go to the bathroom, and he starts marking out people. They're behind this tree, they're behind this tree. I'm like, well, there's two close together. I'm gonna throw down a kill streak right in the floor. But now we're in a really great position. There's money, there's plates, there's boxes, there's loadout guns. That's an M13 and an SA-87, I believe. Or not an SA-87, whatever the new one is. Gas masks, there's all type of stuff here. Jordan comes down with his pistol. SP, excuse me, there you go. So I'm like, there's an MP, there's all kinds of stuff. That guy had garbage. But AX-50, a lot better than a pistol, I'll take that. So I'm like, okay, we've had really good luck pushing along this left side of the gas. Let's just continue to push. And I think we see a sniper from the edge here on the right, right?
Yeah, I thought I had pinged. Yeah, I'm looking over there right now. So there, I had saw the glint of a sniper scope, which pushed us up this way because I absolutely did not want to get in a fight. Some of these guys are really good with their trigger and really good at hip firing. So we just avoid them if we can.
No UAVs, no one's ghosted. We have 0 guns that are silenced and no heartbeats.
And we're using everything we found off the ground. Gas masks, other people's guns. Except for I'm still using Maroon. Forgot what Jordan picked up.
I think he picked up the M13. He ran that thing for a while. I suggested it to him. He was low on bullets. He only had like 30 or 60, just whatever came in the gun, so I dropped him a couple clips. Yeah, he's rocking the M13, looks like. So I'm now trying to scope that sniper. Just from the way the gas is going, I thought he was going to run out, either come after us and do the super aggro play, or just run in. But either way, this is a very interesting circle here, the way this goes. Oh, if I could get it. Okay, so we rotated all the way from over here, and it's still coming up. It's like almost like an S maneuver that the gas is making us run, running at the edge the entire time. The little, what's that called, where planes live? Hangar. The little hangar at the edge of the boneyard. If it had a sniper on it, I suppose he could still be on the roof, like if he landed there or had a chopper or something like that. But either way, I just assume at this point he's either dead or he'd be shooting at us.
Yeah.
Right? In no world does a sniper not try to just shoot every time he sees anyone. So we swing all the way up into the woods as far as we can, knowing we don't have masks, and knowing since we pushed all the way over this way and we didn't get shot, that there's probably still no one over here. So we just try getting as high as we can and up in the woods for a little bit of cover, because the boneyard's going to empty out. That's what we think is going to happen.
But also, for the beginning of our Warzone career, was our favorite spot was to hide in the woods. Hence the martyr garb, green gear, kind of the skins that we choose. So we're familiar with this area, and it's kind of like we can defend if we can. We used to like it in the beginning for Warzoning.
And as you saw us doing here, we're scraping the absolute edge of the gas, and we're going to get as high as we can before we turn in. As soon as the gas starts to move, that's when we turn in. Mm-hmm. Now, you got to turn in with enough time that if you have to stop your feet to shoot, reload, put on plates, you're not going to die in the gas. Of course, we do have masks. So we could be in the gas for a couple of seconds and not die. But scraping the edge here, you can see the line of the gas right here, allows us to know, even without UAVs and heartbeats and all that stuff, that there's no one behind us. Mm-hmm. And if you could focus your field of vision down 180 degrees, you're in a good spot.
Heading down.
So we get up the hill. We had to start going vertical to get away from the gas. Of course, we're still pretty close to the edge. But I want to get up on this hill as quickly as I can so I can take a few seconds to look around. And so I'm looking as close as I can down here towards the edge. I'm always from the edge inside out. These people, Curdle and Jordan, they're going to look down here to the right, and we're going to try to see what's what and where. And this is, again, one of the few times, very few times, if you were to play with a thermal scope for 10 hours, it would be useful for about 30 total seconds. Hunting a single person, knowing there's a single person in the woods who doesn't have the perk, this is one of the very few times a thermal scope is actually useful. So I think I see him with my eyes first. Yeah, you see me really quickly course correct up right there, aim at him, and I mark him. And I only mark him. I only mark him because he's 51 meters away, because there's a lot of trees in the way, and because I know my two teammates haven't had time to even aim in on him yet. Right? So I'm like, he's coming down. Oh wait, it's a team, and I mark him again. So I'm like, all right, go and take him. Let me just start shooting. I waited and I communicated until both of them saw them. We knew how many they were. We knew in which direction they were going, and we waited till everyone had a shot, and then our whole team opened up. So often in Warzone, you just see guy shoot guy, and that works if they're facing you, because you need to start shooting first. Otherwise, for sure, you're going to lose unless they're an awful shot, right? Which just doesn't happen that often. So I think we communicated this just beautifully. We were marking plenty of stuff. Jordan was marking the same thing. We knew how many guys there were. And these guys had no idea we were there. I don't know how or why, but they had no idea. This guy was running this guy. This guy heard some shots. He's running this way now. It's very funny looking. We're able to just plug that guy right away. I got to reload. He gets thirsted. And then this guy decides to... Now he wants to fight. Doesn't matter. Our whole team loses 2.5 plates. And then they're dead. And then I think Jordan got a kill streak, actually.
Yeah, and one funny thing to point out here is because, again, Jordan's not here, but he actually had marked out and pointed at the people to our right. And this actually comes back because we kill the team, and he goes, hey, guys, if there's anybody else, they're going to come to the right of us. And so this plays out just in the next few seconds.
So as you can see, there's only 10 people left. We've outlasted the vast majority of this specific Warzone lobby. We just killed a team of 2. Nobody went down. We just lost a couple of plates. Jordan notices the pings on the map. You can see just a tiny little red dot here, and he puts his marker on it. He puts his marker on it to let us know where it is, as well as he has either a cluster or some type of kill streak. And I think he calls it in, and I think he downs both people.
I'd have to see.
My primary focus, since he basically just clustered that spot, is not the person that's going to be running through it. My focus is still on the left.
Yeah. We also split the way we do things, just to cover more area. And that always sounds like it's obvious, but not many people play that way. You know, we have to cover all of our line of sight.
At that exact moment, Jordan mentioned he didn't have a mask, so
Yeah.
he couldn't play around on the gas. So I'm like, well, we just killed those people. There's one. And so now, since I know he's running for the mask, I go and cover him for a second. And so Jordan called in a cluster, and then another team calls in a cluster over there. So we know that that team down there, they're not having a good time. And as you noticed, we went from 10 to 7.
Yeah.
I think a full team of 3 just died at the cluster. As it turns out, that was not reality. But I tried peeking up over the edge, realizing I neglected my left-hand side and the edge. Anybody could have pushed us over there. Because if you notice, we were on the high ground, that very little hill, and people want the high ground.
Gas is moving.
So, funny enough, I saw no one on that hill. I don't trust my eyes, and then I see that guy running. I think this is just a solo. I'm like, oh gosh, I can't see him.
Yeah.
Gosh darn thermal scopes. And then I didn't see him until I saw the motion. Just his little leg kick out there. He and I trade. He almost gets me. I think he started shooting first. I was just more accurate. Down him, and then I think Jordan's able to finish him off here as I put on some plates. It's less important that I try to kill the guy. It's more important that I try to get on the plates. Jordan swung over to cover me very nicely, but of course no one's looking to the right. Criddle's bouncing between, but usually you need dedicated people. And then this is when the game just comes to a very close end. So here's what we think happened. The team that was down here that got double cluster striked, every single one of them self-revived.
Yeah, survived.
Put on plates, and then ran up the hill in the gas, burning their masks. And the moment I realized we're now neglecting the right, since Jordan just swung to my side to kill the guy after he downed me, I go to Jordan's side to cover his side. And I'm like, team right, team right. And this guy's hilariously sliding down the hill like a, I don't know, like a little kid on a toboggan down a hill in Minnesota, right? This guy's coming down the hill as well. And they were not very coordinated. He's looking over here. He's looking over here. They're 30 meters apart. They have no idea where we are, and they're not near the edge. They're just running to the center of the next circle, which is exactly how they die. He stops his feet almost entirely, starts shooting. I get plugged a fair bit. And this is where the 30-round mag destroys me. Otherwise, I would have potentially downed that second person. I think I'm able to mark and self-revive at the same time. I would start shooting immediately if I, again, had more than 30 bullets. Then I decide, okay, that's 7 kills, that's 5 players. So there's only the 2 left, plus us. Still no one's dead. And then Jordan was able to down a guy. I think that's Criddle downing a guy.
Kill confirm.
And then this is the last one, I think. Gas mask almost kills me. Downed again. And we get the win right there. So that team came down the hill and they were just spread out, and that's just what it was.
And that is.
So we at this point we're just like, oh my god, I cannot believe we actually won that game. That was insane. How many times did we die? Like, oh, screw dying. How many contracts did we complete? How much money did we have? We didn't even have our loadouts. We had bullshit guns off the ground.
Froggy from one buyback to another buyback, all the way pretty much to the end. Very unique scenarios that, you know, you really don't see, you don't really do again.
And so this was, you know, by far one of our better wins in terms of all the stuff that happened and how wrong it could have gone over and over again. But we ended up getting the calling card again that I touched on in the beginning. We had, what was that, 17 kills as a team.
17 kills.
It says only 7 contracts, but we did 8. It's quite a lot. 8 contracts and 17 kills in a game for 3 players. I feel like it's pretty good, especially as a win, especially with that many buybacks, especially as we just weren't in a house with snipers just shooting people from far away. We actually fought everyone we saw.
I think I don't know if we paused for a moment other than to look at the map and to keep moving. It was very quick-paced, quickest 26 minutes of our lives, and very well worth it. It's always fun to watch and to rewatch and to see one of our players go to the bathroom in the middle and then come back and mark out 3 enemies that help us, you know, clear the path to the end of the game.
So as we got back to the lobby, we realized we had completed the Never Say Die, and we got this cool little calling card, which we still use to this day.
Which we do.
So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoy. This was our walkthrough of the game where we accidentally unlocked a mastery challenge we had no idea existed, but we had lots of fun with it.
Totally did.